Today I'm going to show you a little bit quickly how I divide a peony root to get more plants. I do have a more in-depth video and I link it up here and in the comment box if you want to see step by step how to dig and divide a root, and also lots of extra useful information. But in this video I will show you some quick tips. Here I have a peony root and the variety is called Old Faithful. It's a beautiful red peony and I'm going to divide this now, and since all roots look different, it might be a good idea to check in several different videos just to get a hang of the technique. When dividing a peony root, the important part is to get both the buds and a piece of the root, because it's the roots that store nutrition and have energy to shoot the new leaves next year. So I have to divide this one to get both buds, they're also called eyes, and root. And usually when you buy a root it has between 3 and 5 eyes and a smaller piece of root. You need to have both and in a good proportion. So the first thing I'm doing is to check the root out to see where I can divide it. And the most natural to start with seems to be to divide it here, because this is one part, it's quite obvious, and here is a different one. So I will start actually to make 2 plants out of this, and then we'll see. And observe that I washed this one with water before I start to see more clearly. So this is one part and this is one part, and I'm going to divide it here. So, and now I pull lightly and I have 2 parts. It was like this from the start and I divided it to be 2 parts. And now it's a little bit more tricky because I would prefer to have more than 2 pieces, but it's not so easy to get both the buds and the roots together. And especially not if you want 3 to 5 buds and a root. On this one it's not that easy, so I will look at the bigger one and see if I can find something here. Actually, I don't find a good way to divide this one. It's possible to divide it, but it's not going to be a great division, so I think I will just clean this one up instead and have a good plant. It's a decent size root, and then the important part is to clean and cut off any injured parts. For example, this one that broke when I dug it up. So I will cut this one off. And the long one I will cut off. It's difficult to work with. This one is quite big as well. I'll cut that one off. This one has a hole in it. Off with that one. This looks quite bad. And also that one. And let's see. This one is split. I'll actually cut this big chunky piece of root totally off. Off with that one. And maybe this, maybe that. It's easier to work with the smaller root. And then I remove all these small roots. If there are root nematodes on the peonies, usually they hang out mostly in these finer roots. So I'll remove most of those. So now I'm quite happy with this division. It has several large eyes and many small ones as well. So I think 1, 2, 3, at least 4 blooms I think I will get from this one, or 3 or 4 next year, hopefully. So let's look at this one. This is more difficult because it's not really easy to divide, but I think I will give it a shot. First I will remove this damaged part here and some of these small ones. It feels easier to see what I have then. Okay, so now it's a little bit cleaner. I have a few buds on this side and a few smaller ones on the other side. I think I will make a cut here. It won't be a perfect division, but I think it's worth a shot at least. So I will try to notch this one. I cut a little bit into, so this bud is actually ruined, I think, but I have one more here and a few small ones here, so I will try to cut into this root somewhere here. And it's not, as I said, it's not a perfect one, but I think it will be at least possible to use it. Let me see if I can pull it now. Sometimes you need a bigger knife or almost a saw to divide these ones because they can be quite hard to cut into, but we'll see. If I actually made a mistake here. It's so tough. Okay, so now I only got one small root piece with this one. I hoped to get that one as well, but I didn't. But I think if I'm careful with it, I think it will survive. It's not a good piece though. So this one I have to wait probably at least 3 years until I get the flower from this one. But it's worth a try. And this one has a few buds and a little bit too much roots. So here I will remove the parts with the injuries and the loose parts, because too much root compared to the number of eyes is not good either. This one was broken. Okay. I'll remove this as well. It was also broken. So it's a nice clean root. So and I'll remove a little bit more here. It has a hole. Now it's gone. And this one, let me see. Okay, so I'm quite happy with this. It doesn't look great, but I think it will survive. It has a few big buds and a few small ones. So out of this big root I got 3 divisions, 2 good ones and 1 really, really bad one, but better than nothing. So good luck with your root divisions, and make sure to check out the long version here.